Hi, I'm Christine. After working hard for many years, accumulating material things, I decided to sell it all. Now I travel living out of my SUV with my old and blind best friend, Chase the dog. We roam the US looking for adventure, food, and fun. If you'd like to be our travel buddy, then like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Join our Patreon or YouTube membership community for exclusive perks and content. In this video, we start our road trip out on a healthy note. We make an unexpected detour to the Loess Hills of Iowa, enjoy a delicious cheese Frenchie at Don and Millie's, camp in a cornfield, make scrambled eggs for breakfast, visit the Archway Monument, eat an original Runza sandwich, and camp at a beautiful wildlife management area. Good morning, friends. Chase and I are in Kansas City. We have been here for the last few days, making videos about all the cool sights and foods that this town has to offer. There is a heat wave coming though, so we need to skip town. It is boiling hot in every direction except for up, so we are headed to the mountains. To get there, we need to drive through Nebraska, so I'd like to make the most of the trip and spend a couple days exploring there. Before we leave Missouri though, I need to get breakfast, and I am over the moon excited that this town has a Sprouts. Sprouts is my favorite grocery store, and I didn't know they had them in the Midwest, so I'm gonna head there and hopefully find a tasty breakfast. They had a lot of good sales there. I was tempted to buy more, but I don't want to stock up. I just got a salad and a kombucha. I need to save room for the big lunch that we're headed to first. And it's probably good I got a salad because the next thing I'm going to eat is not very healthy. I drove to the nearest park. This place looks pretty nice. We just need a place to eat breakfast and clean the car up. It's time to hit the road. Goodbye, Missouri. Hello, Nebraska. Just kidding, we're in Iowa. That's what I love about long road trips that don't have a hard deadline is if you see something cool off the side of the road, you can just pull over and check it out. We're approaching the state lines, and I started to see signs for the Loess Hills. I had wanted to see these back when I was in Iowa a couple weeks ago, but I didn't have time. So I realized they're only a few miles off the highway we're at anyway, so I had to make a stop. So Loess is a German word for loose, and loess is the type of soil that creates these majestic hills. The Loess Hills span about 200 miles all along the Iowa western border, right by the Missouri River. The depth and concentration of loess in these hills is rivaled only to certain areas in China, which make these hills very unique and globally significant. These hills were created about 20,000 years ago. There were glaciers that were moving through this area. In the summer, they would melt and a lot of water would flow. In the winter, everything would dry up and leave sandbars and silt. In those times, the westerly winds were very strong, so the wind would whip through, pick up the silt, and blow it and deposit it on the eastern side of the valley. This cycle happened for thousands of years until eventually the glacier disappeared and the winds died down. What's left are these gorgeous hills that are now covered in lush green trees. There's the Missouri River, and we just crossed the state line. We're officially in Nebraska. Our first stop is in the city of Lincoln. I'm here at Don and Millie's restaurant to try a famous Nebraskan food, the cheese Frenchie. This unique snack was introduced to Lincoln in the 1950s. Since then, it has become a famous food across the state. The cheese Frenchie is basically just a grilled cheese sandwich that has been battered and deep fried to golden perfection. This delicious treat has a crispy exterior and a warm interior filled with melted cheese. I have found a spot here in the shade to enjoy my meal. It is legit 100 degrees outside, so I'm just gonna let Chase snooze in the car with the air conditioning. All their prices were extremely reasonable. This was under $7. They were even selling margaritas there for $1.39 a piece. I just think it's so fun to deep fry unique foods, but especially when it's a food I really love, like grilled cheese. Grilled cheese is such a simple food, but it's so satisfying and comforting. Let's see what one tastes like deep fried. That is extra crunchy and tasty. That is something that typical grilled cheese lacks, I guess, is like a nice texture. They're usually kind of soggy. So this extra crispy outside just gives it that extra crunch and nice texture that just takes it up a notch. Just kind of want to open it up and see what it looks like. Oh, nice. Very pretty on the inside. There is a type of white sauce in the middle. I think they might put mayo on the bread first. Whatever it is, it's delicious. The cheese is so melty and gooey. This is just like the perfect comfort diner food. They did suggest to try dipping it in ranch, so let's see what that tastes like. Yummy. This is really good ranch. This is definitely like a cheat day food, but it is so good. All right, back on the road. We have about a 2-hour drive from Lincoln to Kearney, Nebraska. The sun is going down and I am trying to get to our parking spot for the night before it's dark. That town has a wildlife management area that allows free camping. And I want to get there before dark just to make sure that it's safe and we can find like a private spot. I'm always aware of safety, obviously, when picking a parking spot at night, but it's extra important tonight because with it being this hot, I have to sleep with the back windows down, which I don't love, and that's another reason that we're headed towards cooler weather. So it's very important that I'm in a safe place. I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that in just like a Walmart parking lot or something. So it's about 7:30 now, the sun goes down at 8, it says we're gonna get there at 9. I'm hoping there's just enough light that we can scope out the place and find a good spot. So when I got off the highway, the last little light of sunlight was going down, so I knew I wasn't gonna have any light when I found the place to park tonight. And I found the spot on iOverlander, which had GPS coordinates, so I put that in Apple Maps, but that just took me to this little small town. So I put the coordinates in Google Maps, and it said I had to go 17 minutes west still. So I just blindly followed the GPS coordinates off iOverlander, like through the cornfields and over like the most washboard road I've been on in a long time. Past like scary dead end signs, and it dead ends at what looks like a trailhead. So it's not the place on iOverlander, but it is some type of park or trailhead or something, because there's like a couple parking spaces. There's like a cornfield behind me and the highway is right in front of me. So I'm just gonna call it for the night. I'm tired. It's only 9:30, but it's been a long day of driving and I just want to bunk down, and I do feel safe here. So I'm gonna go to bed. See you in the morning. Good morning, cows! This is my first time in Nebraska and I really like it so far. Before adventure time start, I want to work out and shower. Good morning, sleepy puppy. You ready to start the day? The gym is my happy place and one of the biggest ways that I practice self-care. Before having Chase on my travels, I would often spend 2 or more hours there in the morning just enjoying myself. Since Chase has joined me, I've really cut down on the amount of time I spend at the gym. I've been getting up super early and just rushing through my gym activities so that I could get back to him well before the heat of the day kicks in. Thankfully, this has changed since I've gotten a Waggle Pet Monitor. This monitor allows me to see the ambient temperature in the car through an app, so I know Chase is safe. It also allows me to set temperature and humidity level limits that if they are reached, an instant alert is sent to my phone. Having the ability to check the app lets me know if I have the time to do the extra things at the gym that makes me feel good while knowing Chase is comfortable. Before having a Waggle monitor, I would just do a couple quick stretches and mat exercises, then hurry up and shower. Now, on most days, I have time to use the machines, enjoy a rejuvenating massage, take a long hot shower, and really start my morning in the best way possible while having peace of mind that Chase is cozy. I am now a partner with Waggle, and if you would like a monitor for yourself, they're offering our viewers 55% off if you use our link and code that I'll list in the description. Breakfast this morning is going to be scrambled eggs. Normally I like to add cheese or some type of veggie to my scrambled eggs to kind of spice them up, but I don't have any of those. So I'm just going to add some ketchup for flavor this morning. We are at the Archway Monument. This is a historical exhibit that tells the exciting story of the adventurous pioneers that helped build America. It's too warm to leave Chase now, so I'm not going to buy a ticket for the exhibit, but I am going to poke my head in and just see what I can see from the entrance.
This is a museum about the pioneers and their eastward movement back in the mid-1800s. 3 trails came in the Platte River Valley, and down out south here, there's Fort Kearny was placed by the government to help the pioneers. They either replenished their stocks or some supplies, repaired the wagons, or maybe traded their livestock off and got a little bit more fresh.
Lunchtime. May I please have an original Runza sandwich? That was fast.
Oh yeah, that's what we do.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
The Runza is a classic Nebraskan sandwich that can be found across the state, coming from German-Russian roots that date back to the 18th century. It's been a staple in this state since its introduction in 1949 when the first Runza drive-in was open. It has been warming the hearts and bellies of Nebraskans ever since. A Runza has a warm and pillowy bread pocket filled to the brim with a savory mixture of ground beef, onions, cabbage, and seasonings. You can add all kinds of scrumptious fillings to take it to the next level. It smells like amazing fresh baked bread. I don't know if I should tear it open or take a bite. I'll tear it open first so you guys can see the inside. All right, I am so ready to dig in. That is really good. I kind of expected it to taste plain because it's just meat, cabbage, and onions, but it is very flavorful. There must be a lot of seasonings in there. I'm trying to pick out what they are. Definitely a lot of pepper, which goes really well with ground beef. The biggest flavor is the onions though. This thing is loaded with onions, which I absolutely love onions. So this is my kind of sandwich. I also thought it might be dry because I got the original. I didn't get cheese or anything extra and fun in there, but it is not dry at all. It is very moist and juicy. The bread is thin and crunchy. This is a winner. The cabbage isn't overpowering either. It just overall has a nicely blended flavor throughout the whole thing. On to our next stop. I just pulled into the campsite and I, no kidding, saw a bald eagle fly like 10 feet in front of me. I'm gonna go see if I can find him. Couldn't find him. He was gone by the time I got out of the car, but I will be on the lookout for some more. All filming has been paused. We are just sitting here waiting for the bald eagle to return. It's another hot day, but it's super windy, which feels so refreshing. I'm gonna fall asleep if I stay here any longer waiting for the eagle to come back, so I'm gonna get up and show you guys around. So I did eventually find the campground I was looking for. It's not really a campground, it's a wildlife management area. All of the Nebraska, they call them WMAs, are available for people to camp at for free. It is limited to 3 nights out of a 6-day period, but that's totally fine. I drove around a little bit. There's this charming little river that flows through it and lots of little stop-offs that you can stay at. So I picked one right by the river here. That's gonna be home for the night. Chase just had his outside time and wanted to go back in the car. So he's probably gonna nap and I'm gonna go try to find a way down to the water. We have a good spot right by the water, but this ends at a huge drop off and I can't tell how deep it is. Just to the left here, there are some very steep, muddy steps, but again, I don't know how deep it is. So I'm trying to find an access point somewhere, like I'd love to get to that little beach. Oh yeah, baby. Access to the beach. We can call it that. So Chase and I were just chilling for a little bit and this nice lady came up on a 4-wheeler and informs me I'm on private property. So my first time trying to camp on wildlife area is a fail, but she was really nice about it. I just have to go to the other side of the river, so time to find a new camp spot. Goodbye, beautiful Riverfront Campsite. I'm glad I got to swim in you before I got kicked out. Okay, she said to go over the bridge and that is the wildlife area. This looks right. I saw a couple good sites, so I'm not sure which one I'm gonna park at for the night, but this looks good for dinner. I just want something simple tonight, so I'm gonna make a quick soup and then find a good spot for sunset. So I found this little footpath that leads to this gorgeous little lake. I don't think I'll be able to see the actual sun setting because of the trees, but hopefully I can see some pretty colors. I think I found a good campsite for the night. It's semi-secluded. There's still gonna be some road noise, but there's nobody else here. And we've got like this nice wide open spot and trees on all sides. So this is home for the night. Good night. Morning. It was a little loud last night because of the highway right by us, but other than that, it was a really peaceful night's sleep. I've had a lot of fun exploring Nebraska so far. I think I'm gonna take a couple days off and just camp out here in Kearney and edit this week's video. Then I will continue my journey west through Nebraska. I have a really cool destination in mind for next week's video, so stay tuned for that. I appreciate you coming along. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Dating back to the 18th century. Coming from German, Russian roots that date back to the... It's 2 times.